As humans, we often experience a mix of anxiety, nervousness, and uncertainty when it comes to interviews. Whether it's a job interview, a college admissions interview, or any other type of interview, it's common to feel a sense of pressure and scrutiny during the process. Interviews require us to showcase our best selves, answer questions on the spot, and make a good impression, all while being judged and evaluated by someone else. Interviews are a crucial step in the hiring process for most companies. They offer an opportunity for the employer to assess a candidate's skills, experience, and suitability for the job. However, despite the benefits, interviews are not always a pleasant experience for candidates. Let's explore some of the reasons why people dread interviews. Pressure and anxiety. Interviews can be incredibly nerve-wracking. The pressure to perform well can lead to a lot of anxiety, even for the most confident and experienced candidates. The fear of not knowing how to answer a question or giving a poor response can be overwhelming. It's not uncommon for candidates to experience symptoms of anxiety such as sweating, trembling, or a racing heart rate before or during an interview. One of the reasons why interviews cause anxiety is that candidates often feel like they're being judged. They know that the interviewer is evaluating their every move and assessing whether they're a good fit for the job. The sense of being scrutinized can be incredibly uncomfortable for many people, leading to feelings of inadequacy or imposter syndrome. Lack of control. Another reason why people hate interviews is that they often feel like they're not in control of the situation. The interviewer is the one asking the questions, and the candidate has to respond. There's no way to predict what questions will be asked, which can make it difficult to prepare adequately. Candidates may feel like they're being put on the spot and forced to perform under pressure. The lack of control can also extend to the format of the interview. Some candidates may prefer to have a more informal conversation rather than a formal Q&A session. However, they may not have a choice in the matter. Similarly, some interviewers may ask questions that the candidate is not comfortable answering or that they feel are irrelevant to the job. Time commitment. Job interviews can take up a lot of time, especially if a candidate has to attend multiple interviews for different companies. Preparing for an interview can also be time-consuming, requiring research into the company, the role, and the interviewer. This can be particularly challenging for candidates who are already working full-time or have other commitments, such as caring for children or elderly relatives. Even after the interview, candidates may have to wait for a significant amount of time before hearing back from the employer. This can be frustrating, as they may be left in a state of limbo, unsure of whether they're still being considered for the role. Unpredictability. Interviews can be unpredictable, which can make them challenging to prepare for. The interviewer may ask unexpected questions or throw in a curveball, making it difficult for the candidate to anticipate what's coming. Even if the candidate has researched the company and the role, they may still be caught off guard by the interviewer's approach. Similarly, candidates may encounter unexpected challenges during the interview itself. For example, they may be asked to complete a task or solve a problem on the spot. These kinds of challenges can be particularly difficult for people who struggle with performance anxiety. Bias and discrimination. Unfortunately, bias and discrimination can play a role in the hiring process, and this can be a significant source of stress for candidates. They may worry that they'll be discriminated against because of their gender, race, age, or any other factor that the interviewer may consider. This can be especially challenging for candidates who have experienced discrimination in the past or who are from underrepresented groups. Even if the interviewer isn't intentionally biased, they may have unconscious biases that can affect their evaluation of the candidate. The prevalence of bias and discrimination in interviews can be difficult to measure, as many people may not report such incidents or may not be aware that bias is occurring. However, there have been several studies and surveys conducted on the topic. For example, a study conducted by Glassdoor in 2019 found that 42% of U.S. job seekers surveyed had experienced or witnessed discrimination in the hiring process. This discrimination included experiences such as being asked inappropriate questions, being judged based on their appearance, or being treated unfairly due to their race, gender, age, or other factors. Another survey conducted by Monster in 2020 found that 62% of U.S. job seekers had experienced bias or discrimination during an interview. The types of discrimination reported in this survey included bias based on race, gender, age, disability, and sexual orientation. These studies suggest that bias and discrimination can be a significant problem in the interview process, and it's important for employers and interviewers to be aware of these issues and take steps to mitigate them. So, what can job seekers do to mitigate these negative feelings and make the interview process more bearable? Here are a few tips. Research the company. Learn as much as you can about the company and the position you're interviewing for. Review the job description and the company's website, social media, and news articles to gain a better understanding of their mission, values, and culture. Prepare responses to common interview questions. Review common interview questions and prepare responses in advance. Practice your answers with a friend or family member to get feedback and help build your confidence. Dress appropriately. Make sure you dress appropriately for the interview. Research the company's dress code and choose an outfit that is professional and fits the company culture. Plan your route and arrive early. Plan your route to the interview location and allow plenty of time to arrive early. This will help you avoid being late and reduce any stress or anxiety associated with being rushed. Bring copies of your resume and a notepad. Bring several copies of your resume, as well as a notepad and pen to take notes during the interview. Practice good body language. Use confident body language during the interview, such as maintaining eye contact, sitting up straight, and using open gestures. Prepare questions to ask. Prepare a list of questions to ask the interviewer about the position, the company, and the company culture. This shows that you're interested and engaged in the opportunity. By preparing in advance, you can feel more confident and better positioned to make a strong impression during the interview. Interviews can be a stressful and anxiety-inducing experience for many people. The pressure to perform, the fear of being judged, and the sense of vulnerability that comes with meeting new people can all contribute to our negative feelings about the interview process. However, it's important to remember that interviews are a necessary part of many important life transitions, such as securing a job or gaining admission to a college or university. By acknowledging our feelings and taking steps to prepare in advance, we can improve our chances of success and feel more confident and empowered during the interview process. Ultimately, with the right mindset and preparation, interviews can be an opportunity to showcase our strengths and demonstrate our potential to achieve our goals.